for inquiry, and I suppose the first thing we ought to mention right off the bat, since it is so obvious, is the difference in apparel between myself and Professor Kurtz. But the truth is, I'm just about to catch a plane for the holidays to visit in Florida, so I'm kind of in travel wear here, and Dr. Kurtz, of his course, looking very professorial indeed. So what we want to talk about today for this blog, we're doing a video blog right now, and we want to talk about the economic tsunami, as you have called it. And, you know, we are definitely facing difficult times in America right now. And we want to talk a little bit about what is the humanist response to these difficult times.
Well, I should say as background, I lived through the Great Depression. I was 4 years old when the 1929 crash occurred. And I remember the awesome period of the 30s when we had hobos wandering in the streets, shanty towns, soup kitchens, and widespread unemployment and poverty. And with the New Deal, there was great hope that this would go away. Unemployment rose again in 1938, and we were saved in one sense only by the increased manufacturing brought about by World War II. So I've lived through many recessions since that time, and I hope this is not a Great Depression. But unfortunately, it is a global tsunami, and I think it's based on panic and fear, and we all hope that we will come out of it. But I think we've learned a lot from this. First, the point is, first, socialist economies have been discredited. In the 30s, when I grew up, everyone believed, or large sectors of the intelligentsia believed in socialism, government planning. And after the war, they stagnated and discovered the power of free markets. So there's no question that free markets are the engines of dynamic economic change. Even China, Vietnam, and other countries have adopted that. But now, what's happened here is the sudden discrediting of unlimited free market. So we have two principles: one, government, the role of government in the economy, and two, the unlimited free market, unfettered free market. And it seems to me, as a humanist, that we have to balance both of these principles. That's one point that I would make.
You know, Obama made this comment about how the current economic fiscal crisis in the country is in many ways the final verdict on so-called trickle-down economics.
Well, I don't know if there are any final verdicts, but is that what he said, actually? Yeah, trickle-down has been used, that you stimulate entrepreneurs and you give them tax deductions, and they will invest in the economy, and everyone else will benefit. And there's some truth to that, but it is overstatement. And I think that what I'm concerned about is the fact that we've had a virtually totally unregulated economy. If you take Wall Street. And so we do need SEC regulations and other forms of regulation. But the same thing applies to banks, and I haven't heard much about that. I know of many students at the university that are overloaded with advertising for loans at low rates. They take them out. If they miss a payment, interest rates jump up to 29.9%. So usury, exorbitant interest rates have been everywhere present, and there are many credit card defaults and consumer loan defaults, as though banks are reluctant to lend again. So I think that we do need regulation of interest rates in the country, and there ought to be a limit on what you can charge for loans. I haven't heard that being proclaimed. And of course, the other thing is predatory lending with mortgage rates. So we do need government regulation. We do need government programs, a private and a public sector. So I would suggest that we need to balance the role of the government, and there is a role for the government, as the Bush administration has discovered. But we also have to recognize the power of the free market. So I believe in the free market, yes, of course, as an engine of growth and development, innovation. but it's never sufficient unless it is regulated and moderated by the government.
Well, in the brief moments that we have, I want to take it down to the individual level, because we're kind of talking at the macroeconomic level. But let's talk about the fact that individuals are dealing with the reality of powerful economic forces which they have no control over. And what is the humanist response? How does the individual humanist respond to these times of uncertainty?
Well, we have to be concerned with every individual in our society. We cannot lose him. So there's a dignity and value in labor. I'm concerned about the decline of the middle class, and I'm particularly concerned with the effort to peg earnings here with earnings in the third world. And so there is a demand. Well, people blame labor for the cost of an automobile, and they want to lower wage rates. But, you know, the position of the American consumer, the American worker, is very important. And it seems to me we need to protect the individual and not demean or denude him so that his wage rates are the same as in a third world country. One thing that will help the manufacturing center is if we have universal health care that no longer has to be paid for by the automobile companies.
Well, these are all challenges that we're facing, and we just wanted to have a brief discussion today, and we thank you very much, and we want to hear from you.
Well, I just want to add this point that we need to have pragmatic solutions.
Pragmatic solutions.
And we should not draw upon either the ideologies of Marx of the 19th century or of an extreme libertarian such as Mill of the 19th century.